Hey there, Stephen Pegg from Loves to Travel. Thanks for checking out our videos. Always appreciate when you watch our videos. Heading up to Kroger to get a couple of things that I need to make my homemade stuffing mix. Yes, I'm going to make my homemade stuffing mix. I'm solo right now. My co-pilot Peg is home working on some other things. So before we get into the video and head on into Kroger, love for you to hit the subscribe button below. Also that bell notification button below, because that'll get you notified when we put up future videos. Love for you to hit the like button too. Just a couple of things that I need to get here at Kroger for my homemade stuffing mix, and then we'll go home and actually make my homemade stuffing mix. So give me a second to get parked. We'll get on into Kroger, get a couple of things that I need, then we'll head home and we'll make some stuffing. You know, one of the things that I've always done now ever since this whole pandemic started is wiping down my carts. So that's what I'm doing right now before I even get started, wiping down a cart. And somebody suggested, and I agree with this, because I said, well, why don't you take a wipe with you into the store and use that to moisten your fingers to be able to get the bags open for your veggies. So I brought an extra wipe to be able to do that. I need to get a white onion and a stalk of celery. So that's my main goal here, is to get a white onion and a stalk of celery. So let me get a bag. And here are the white onions. I'm going to moisten my fingers with the wipe that I just got to be able to get the bag open. Oh, it works like a charm. It does work like a charm. And I'm going to pick myself out of, I just need one. Actually, the recipe calls for two, but I'm going to do a half a recipe, so I just need one. And that one looks pretty good right there. So I'm going to take that one right there. And I have my white onion. They are a little low on celery, so I'm actually going to get this. It may be a little bit more expensive, but I'm going to get the celery hearts instead of just the celery. I'm going to pick this up. It's a little more expensive, but that's their celery. And they do have a sign here that says what they've got for celery, so I'm going to get this instead, but I need celery, so I'm going to pick that up. And I need to get a couple of other things while I'm here. Apparently I have to get cosmic brownies and hot dog buns, which is all the way on the other side of the store. So they gave me a list. I'm getting cosmic brownies, provolone cheese, milk, and hot dog buns. That is the list on top of my white onion and celery. And again, Peg's not with me today, so this is me actually filming by myself. I got Peg home doing, she's home doing some other things. So I said I'd just go up and run to Kroger real quick and pick up what we needed. And I guess we got to get milk. Milk's $2.89 a gallon right now. Has gone up in price for us. So I will get myself a gallon of milk. And yeah, eggs have gone up in price as well, but I do need to get eggs, so I'm going to get myself 18 eggs. They've gone up to $2.49 for 18. So I'm going to get eggs. And I always check my eggs. And somebody told me actually to jiggle them in the case too to make sure they're not broken underneath. These are fine. I remember when hot dog buns were 89 cents. Yeah, $1.49 now for hot dog buns. And hamburger buns. These are the Kroger ones too. These are the Kroger branded hot dog buns. If you want to get like Pepperidge Farm, they're more expensive. They're like $3.49. So I'm just going to get the Kroger ones. Let's see, the other thing on my list is cosmic brownies. So I'm going to get cosmic brownies. I'll get 2 of them. Not a bad price. $2.59. Provolone cheese. The slices. Let's see, provolone cheese. There it is, right there. Provolone cheese. $3.99 for the, what's the difference between the two? Oh, smaller package. I'll get the bigger package. $3.99 for provolone cheese. So we're gonna get provolone cheese. That is the extent of my Kroger trip. That's all I'm getting. So I will do self-checkout because I've only got a few things. And then I'll go home and make my stuffing for this afternoon. Because I think Peg wants to take some of the ham that we bought at Kroger on sale for 49 cents a pound. And she wants to take that and make a cheap dinner out of it tonight. So let me go through this real quick, get it checked out, and then we'll go from there. So I'm back from Kroger and I have my onion and I have my celery. So now I'm going to actually make the stuffing, and I have the list right here of how to make it. So we're going to follow this, but I'm going to change it just a little bit. One thing that I'm going to change on this, so just keep that in mind. So we're going to switch things around here so you can see what I've got here and see how I do it. So hang on 2 seconds. So I have all the things that I need to make my stuffing mix with. I know I've promised to do this for a couple of months now, but I'm finally going to get it done. So here we go. We're going to start with my Pepperidge Farms seasoned stuffing mix. I have a bag of that. You need 1 bag of that. You're going to need celery. I have that. You need a white onion. I have that. You need butter, and I'm going to use the Kerrygold, which we've had in our fridge that we bought on sale. See if that changes the taste at all. You need chicken broth, which I have 2 cans because I need 2 cups, and I want to make sure I get 2 cups. I will be measuring it in my measuring cup to make sure I have 2 cups. You're going to need a large mixing bowl, and I'm going to put that off to the side right now because I don't need it. Then you'll need a casserole pan, which I have here. And we'll get to that here in just a couple of seconds. Obviously, you'll need a knife and you'll need a can opener. So I think I've got everything I need. The first thing I want to do is dice and slice my onion and my celery. So I'm going to put that off to the side. I'm going to put that off to the side. I'll start with the celery. And then what we want to do is, well, I want to cut the ends off there. So I've got those. You just want to slice and dice these. I like to go this way and cut these down the middle first before I get into the slicing and the dicing of them. And then you just want to just cut them up. Watch your fingers, by the way. Cut them up into little tiny pieces. I know that chefs do it like this so that they don't get their fingers in the way. That's about as close as I'm going to get to the end. And I'm just going to put these in a bowl for right now. And I did wash my hands, by the way, just so you know. Oh, and Peg taught me a secret on one of her videos, one of her cooking videos. I've got grippers underneath my cutting board so the board doesn't slip. So I do have grippers. So we're going to put that off to the side. Now I need my onion. And it says I need 1 large white onion. And I don't know if I'm going to use the whole onion or not. It says about a cup, so you cut the ends off. And then I always like to take the outer edge off. That's just me, you don't have to. I like to take the outer edge off. And as Peg says about onions, slice them fast. So again, we're going to cut these down. Oh my God, I can smell that already. I don't know if I'm going to use the whole onion or not because I'm having a hard time holding this.
You cut it the other way.
I'll just use that. There, we're fine. Well, I guess I can. I guess you're right. I can do that way.
You're just chopping and dicing is all you're doing. So that's a lot of onions. But it says for whole onion. I'm getting onions all over the place. All right, well, there you go. 1 cup of onions. It says you need a cup of onions. I got a cup of onions. So I've got my onions, and yeah, I cut a little bit too much, so Peg took some away. This is a cup of onions and a cup of celery, and I might have a little bit too much onions in there, but I like onions. So the next thing I need to do is melt my butter, and I need 4 teaspoons of butter, which is basically a 1/4 stick. So basically 1/8 of this. So I need to cut this in half, and then in half again. So there we go. And then I'll wrap that butter up and put it away. So I'm going to put this in my saucepan. I'm going to put this in my saucepan, which is right here, and I'm going to melt this. So I'm going to go over to the stove and melt this. So I'll be back in a minute. So I'm melting my butter. You don't want to burn the butter, so I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit on it. I just want to melt it right now. And I actually have to melt butter for other things too, so I've done this before. When I make my banana bread, I have to do this as well. Just melt butter down. And then I mix that in with everything else. But in this case, I'm going to mix everything here first before I go to a mixing bowl. So I want the butter melted. And it's almost all the way melted. Turn that heat down just a little bit more, please. I have my my sidekick, Peg, is doing the filming. Now I'm going to add the onions, and I'm going to be nice to Peg and not put all the onions in. But I am going to put all the celery in. So what I'm doing right now is basically sauteing the onions and the celery in the butter that I melted to try and get the onions and the celery soft. So I'm just going to saute these for a couple of minutes and let them get soft. And it should only take a couple minutes. You just don't want them to burn, that's all. So you want to keep an eye on the heat. While I'm doing that, I'm actually going to grease my casserole dish, because you've got to grease it to make sure that things don't stick. So while this is sauteing a little bit, and honey, can you stir this while I do this real quick? I'll grease this. And you can either use Crisco or butter. Either way works. Just as long as you grease the bottom and the sides of your casserole dish. And you don't really need a lot. You just need enough to be able to, so that it doesn't stick. So I've got this greased now, so it's all set to go when I'm ready to put the stuffing into it. And I think that's almost done, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to turn the heat off on this now. So I think we're almost done. Just let those sit for a couple minutes while I get everything else ready. We're going to switch off the stove and come back over here, honey. So at this point, I'm actually going to start the oven up. And you want to preheat your oven for 350. Again, if your oven is a little bit off, like ours really cooks hot, I'm going to set it for 330, which for us will be 350 for the most part. Make sure my rack is in the right spot. I'm moving the rack because we did that ham last night and the rack was lower than it should be. So now while I'm waiting for the oven to heat up, I'm going to add my broth to where I'm sauteing across over on the stove. And I need celery. I need 2 cups of it. So I'm going to see if I've got 2 cups in the one can. I hope I do. And I'm just shy, so I can live with that. I'm going to add this. I'm going to add this to my mixture that I've got on the stove real quick. And while the oven is heating up, I'm just going to bring this mixture to a boil real quick. Shouldn't take too long. I have a gas stove. So I've added my broth to my mixture that I'm sauteing on the stove here. Now all I'm going to do is bring it to a boil. That's all you have to do. So in the saucepan right now, I've got a cup of onions. I've got a cup of celery. I've got 4 tablespoons of butter that's been melted. And now I've got 2 cups of chicken broth. So that is what I'm bringing to a boil right now. And as soon as it comes to a boil, then I can mix all this together, get it in the oven. One of the nice things about a gas stove is you get up to heat really quick. I just like stirring things because I don't like to have anything burn on the bottom. What are we going to have with this stuffing, by the way? Have we decided yet? Ham. That's right, ham. We bought a ham from Kroger for 49 cents a pound. And we had dinner with it last night. And we pulled the leftovers off the ham last night. And I think we're going to do ham tonight with stuffing. That is slowly starting to bubble, so we're almost ready. And we are starting to bubble, so yeah, we're about ready to boil. So at this point, I've got my mixture all set to pour into the mixing bowl. So I want to take my bag of stuffing mix, and you'll need a large mixing bowl to do this with, and pour the whole bag in there. Oops. And then when you get it all mixed up, you put it in the casserole dish. Now you can do this one of 2 ways. You can either put foil on top of it if you want, or you can leave it without foil on it if you want it a little bit crispier. So there's 2 ways you can do it. I'm probably going to put foil on it because I want it a little bit softer. So I'm going to grab the foil real quick, clean up my mess. Put foil on top of it, and we're going to put it in the oven. We're going to pop it in the oven for 35 minutes or so. And I'm up to 265. I'm going to put it in now. You want to go on the middle rack, and we're going to let it sit for about 30 minutes, check on it, and see if it's ready to go. If not, we'll add a couple more minutes to it. So hang tight. We'll come back here in a little bit. So I think we're ready to pull this out of the oven, honey. You ready? Here we go. Oh my gosh, what do you think? I think we're going to let it cool a little bit before we take a bite, or do you want me to try and take a bite now?
Let it cool, sweetheart.
All right, I'm going to let it cool for a while, and then we'll have ham for dinner and stuffing. So I have dinner here. I have ham, which was left over, and I also have stuffing, which is homemade stuffing. Well, not quite homemade, but Pepperidge Farms stuffing mix, which I homemade and cooked in the oven. So we're going to try it and see how it all is. I've already tried the stuffing, and I know it's phenomenal. Personal preference, but we'll see what it is. I'm going to do the stuffing again. Oh, it's good. And a little bit of ham too. So thanks for watching my cooking video. Hopefully you know how to make stuffing now, because I learned myself today following the recipe, and it turned out pretty good. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you've not hit the subscribe button below, please do so. Also that bell notification button below, that'll get you notified when we put up future videos. And I would really like for you to hit the like button, because I worked long and hard on this one. So thanks for watching, and have a magical day.